Hey everyone, Steve Kim here. So excited. Steve Kim Show episode number 59. Let's take a look at what happened in the detached and townhome markets back in July 2019. So let's get right into it. So that an average detached property in Toronto of June 2019 was trading around $1.33 million. Fast forward into July 2019, we see a little bit of a drop that detached property is now trading at $1.23 million. Well, in Richmond Hill back in June 2019, that average detached was trading at $1.4 million. We see a little bit of a drop in that now that detached property is trading at $1.31 million. Well, in Markham, that average detached property was trading in June $1.2 million. Fast forward into July, we see it creep up just a little bit to $1.23 million. And in Vaughan, pretty much stayed the same from June to July. That average detached property is trading at $1.24 million. Now, months of inventory, this is really, really important. Checks and balances, supply versus demand. So Toronto, June, we went from 2.5 into July to 2.4 months of inventory. In Richmond Hill, and Richmond Hill is always in the news with regards to the home prices drastically dropping, so much inventory. We know that a balanced market is around 5 to 6 months of inventory. So in June 2019 in Richmond Hill, detached homes, we saw 5.8 months of inventory. Fast forward into July, we're at 5 months of inventory. That is a healthy market. We have to understand that is a balanced, healthy market. Now in Markham, detached properties, we went from 4.2 months of inventory in June to 3.2 months of inventory in July. So that's going to be really, really important to see how that plays out for the next few months in terms of months of inventory. And then in Vaughan, we went from 3.5 to 3.6 months of inventory. Now, townhomes and condos, these still being the most affordable options for a lot of home buyers in and around Toronto and the GTA. So in Toronto, that average townhome in June 2019 was trading at $1.02 million. Looking into July, that average townhome is now trading just over $961,000. So we see a little bit of a drop in the average sales price of a townhome in Toronto. Well, Richmond Hill, what happened? In June, that average townhome was trading just over $829,000. We see it creep up a little bit to now trading over $838,000. In Markham, this is going to be really important to pay attention to. In June, we went from just over $783,000. Fast forward into July, where that average townhome is now trading just over $803,000. And that's really, really important to kind of watch. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in months of inventory. That average townhome in Vaughan in June was trading just over $847,000. Fast forward into July, we see a little bit of a drop. That average townhome is now trading around $826,000. Now, months of inventory as it relates to the townhome market. In Toronto, we went from 1.2 in June to 1.5 in July. So still very much a strong seller's market. You will still absolutely see multiple bids and multiple offers in this segment in and around Toronto. Richmond Hill, we went from 3.6 to 3.4 months of inventory. In Markham, this is important. In June, we went from 3.4 months of inventory. Fast forward into July, 1 month later, 30 days later, we dropped to 1.9 months of inventory. So we went into very much a seller's market for townhomes in Markham. In Vaughan, we went from 2.5 months of inventory to 2.2 months of inventory in July. I hope you found these numbers and stats useful. If you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to give me a call, send me a text, shoot me an email, or come by and say hello. As always, be great, be kind, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.